It is 5:30. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call. Kelly Johnson.
Here.
Michael O'Brien.
Here.
Malone Marshall.
Present.
Donna Lewis.
Here.
Lenore Noble.
Here.
Dale Talley. Absent. I'm present. We do have a quorum. Next is public comment.
Oh.
What do we do with it? Select that. Everybody sign in that you're going to give public comment. All right. First up is Nathan Aldrich. Aldrich.
I have this for the board.
Okay.
It's a copy of the portfolio.
If you could speak into the mic so we can hear you.
How's this?
Good.
I'm sorry,
can't
is
hear
there
me
more than
over
one
there.
copy? Is there more than one copy of this, or do we just pass it?
Just one copy.
Okay,
I didn't have time to make copy for all of you guys.
okay.
So I'm here to speak about my the flowers in my terrace. They've come under a bit of scrutiny, and I kind of like to clear the air and kind of figure out where we can go from here. So I printed out Kankakee's mission. It says, nurturing the community, enhancing lives, extraordinary place to dream, grow, thrive, progress, include, and innovate. Stewardship of the environment, ethics, respect, and overcoming challenges, finding the best practices. I think we can find a place to move forward with this. So the issue that we're having is encroachment upon right-of-ways. No person shall install, place, maintain, or construct any structure, playground, equipment, boulders, material, or landscaping that encroaches upon the right-of-way street without written approval from the city department. Exceptions, landscaping around trees and driveway aprons. That's what we've done. So we read that code, we looked forward. I've included a schematic for us. We have the driveway apron, and we have the terrace section, and that's what's coming under fire tonight. We have planted some native plants in that spot, some beautiful flowers that are great for the pollinators. I've also included a Google map of the spot that we have done. We have our tree right here, our apron, and this is the terrace that we have planted, following the code as best as we can. Once we did that, then we looked at Chapter 38 Landscape Ordinance to figure out what is allowed and how we can actually landscape that. And they say we encourage planting, ground cover, which is what we have done, enhance, protect the quality of life, aesthetic environment of the city, to aid in the control of stormwater, runoff, stabilization of soil by the reduction of erosion and sedimentation, thereby protecting the Kankakee River and its tributaries, to enhance air quality, reduce noise, reduce energy consumption, to preserve and enhance food supplies and habitat for birds and other wildlife, increase property values, to prevent the clearing of land without replacement of valuable ecosystems. Section 3802A says that this applies generally and uniformly to all areas within the city. So that was the documentation that we followed when we did our landscaping. We meticulously removed every square inch of grass sod manually with a sod cutter. We then disposed of it properly. We bought a pollinator pack and a rain garden kit to help out the water quality. I've included many pictures of terraces that look beautiful that I found all around the city with the help of a few friends. There's not only my terrace, there are many terraces that this ruling would come out against. There's also a recent law that passed in Illinois that said no prohibition on native landscaping. This is what we're doing, native plants indigenous to the area. We're trying to remove any noxious, invasive weeds that we might have and build up the proper ecosystem that there is supposed to be. We have a wildlife habitat certification program that we went through. We have a certification of a monarch way station to help out the critically endangered beautiful orange butterfly. What we've really been trying to work on is a rain garden. Because we're doing the terrace area, all of that water, if not infiltrated, will go into the storm water system. And so we're doing our part to help that out. We have purifying the water before it enters the stream, the rivers, reduce the amount of fertilizers, herbicide, and pesticides. And so we're doing our part to help out the local watershed as best as we can. And as you all know, Aqua is having boil orders. There's been at least 2 in the past 12 months. High level of nitrates, which is from agricultural runoff. And there's also maybe E. coli, some kind of fecal contamination back in 24. So our water is at a precarious position, and I think we need to work very diligently to protect it as best as we can. On the comment of pesticides, I would also like to mention that I think the city should stop spraying permethrin. It is a potentially carcinogenic compound. We're not even following the EPA guidance on the permethrin spraying. There's great ecological risk for freshwater, estuarine, aquatic organisms, and if we're spraying this close to the river, that makes its way into the water, and then it causes contamination issues. If we are spraying, we need to follow the guidance that says a 450-foot buffer zone. They're spraying on my street directly by the river, and so we're not even following the EPA guidance on that. I also had one of my students write a kind of a mock newspaper outline on the issues with permethrin spraying and the dangers and damage it is doing to lightning bugs, moths, bats, owls, all key critters in our area. I've also included the permethrin MSDS because we're not following the wind range. If it's wind speeds above 15 miles per hour, you're not supposed to spray, and I've documented the city doing that as well. And there was an interesting law that came out that says, the short title is Pesticide Application on Rights of Way Notification Act. And it states that you must notify residents if you are spraying permethrin in the areas. And that comes with penalties and prosecution by the state's attorney. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Can I get a copy? Michael Matthews.
Hi, guys. My name is Michael Matthews. Some of you guys already know me. Just to kind of throw this out there, my background is a lot in science education. I've spent, I started as an educator over 20 years ago, teaching biology. I worked as a consultant, so I've done wetland delineations, prairie restorations, worked on native plantings. So I have an extensive background in this a long time. And just to make it easier for everyone to kind of understand, as a Park District Commissioner, we had a meeting last night, and we are losing the battle for a lot of green space and a lot of invasive species that are coming in, plants that take over and they're hard to control. There's a problem with funding. A good problem is education. Most of us here do not have a background and understand what's even going on. What he even said, a lot of it just went right over the heads. Understandable. And probably means that we're not educating enough, I think. And so I'm hoping at some point the city, someone within the city, we have a fantastic city planner, Melissa King's awesome. We've had discussions before, and we can work with the city and come up with a plan so that we value our properties between the city, the Park District, all the citizens that are in this, and that we're all together and we have some idea of what to do. And I'm not saying punish people for this. I'm saying we need to identify those that have a background in the situation and bring everyone to the table and go, what is the problem? Is there a problem? And what should we do about it? In my own yard, I have a lot of plants that are coming in and I don't want them there. If they stay there, they're going to take over the whole yard. And you're like, well, what's the deal? Plant's a plant. Well, he mentioned some animals and other things, and I do have a background in those species. That's fantastic and nice job commenting on those. But I think it went over a lot of people. And the take home is this. If we don't understand what's going on, it really makes it difficult to make decisions on it. So how do you make a decision if somebody put this plant instead of that plant in there? If you don't know what either plant is or what its purpose is, what its function is, we're in trouble. Ideally, you want as many different types of plants as you can, We found out before, if you only have one kind of plant that takes over, one little bug come out and knock out the whole thing and cost the city a lot of money. When the emerald ash borer came in and knocked out our ash trees, the entire mall lost every one of their trees, right? So it can be expensive. So a little bit of knowledge is helpful. So I'm not necessarily throwing myself out there to say, hey, this should be the law, that should be the law. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we should get together as a team, figure out what needs to be done, and do something about it. I'm speaking also selfishly for the Park District as well, because we're facing the same thing. We have plants that do what they want to do, and the public doesn't like it, right? Or they're plants that are poisonous. You know, they're plants that have spines, and I'm cleaning up my own. I'm talking about my own properties, our own parks. You know, I'm like, you can't have this here. This species of plant, this is wild parsnip, and in sunlight, if it gets on your skin, it can scar all the way down to the flesh. It can scar your skin. Well, who knows that? People have heard of poison ivy. Poison ivy's nothing, right? But if we don't know stuff, we're in trouble. So I'm just tossing my name out there. If you guys have any questions, want to help to deal with whatever situations you have, please, you guys know my neighbors and stuff, so feel free to give me a call and let me know if you need anything. 'Cause these aren't easy questions for those that don't have the background in it. So if you need help, just let me know. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Ryan Curtis.
Thank you. In solidarity with Nathan and as owner of a fairly wild yard myself, I would like to recite a writing by Benjamin Vogt. Someday we're going to buy some land, as much as we can afford, and on that land we're going to rewild with whatever amount of privilege allows us to rewild. It won't be enough, but it will make a difference, set an example, and hopefully inspire others. Because even in a suburban development, a patchwork of a few quarter-acre lots matter. In an apartment complex, a patchwork of pots on decks matter. And in the country, a patchwork of acres here and acres there matter. When the time comes, when you are asked what you did with what you had, will your answer stand up to the ethical center in your heart and soul? When you bear witness to the alignment of what you said, what you believed, and what you did, will your hope be justified? Will others hope? Wherever and however you can say no to this extraction-based, planet-killing culture, you become a powerful disruption in the force. You will be told to shut up, be quieter, say or do things in a different way that appeals to whoever is critiquing you. Someone will call county weed control. Someone will talk nasty behind your back. And it won't matter because you stayed the course, held the line, and said no more. I will do what I can and keep doing it because it comes from a place of deep empathy, of defiant compassion. This makes people jealous because it reflects back to them their own misalignment. You'll be labeled as judgy and shaming simply by living and doing, but that's the internalization of others occurring. Their processing of their own grief as they watch what they could or would not do. It is necessary for us all to try and work through our grief, which we too often avoid and which then limits our power. No one wants the pain of an open heart, but it's a sign your growth is infinite and that you are ready to truly live. Stand up, rise up, take your power and cultivate it in whatever way you can and whatever method syncs up with your skill set and passions. Protest on the streets, protest in the lawns, protest in the cornfields, protest in the courtrooms, protest in the HOA and city council meetings. Above all, love the plants, the birds, the spiders, the beetles, and the people learning to speak the language of life again. Now is the time. You are ready for the work, and you won't give up even if nothing changes, even if everything the system values and tells you to value is taken away from you. One light in the darkness erases the darkness. One coneflower in a lawn erases the lawn. One butterfly crossing our path erases our path and leads us to a new destination. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have the approval of the minutes. I sent them out electronically and also got a paper copy in front of you. Outside of any changes.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Malone Marshall. Second by Johnson. Tolly. Aye. O'Brien.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Noble.
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay, Noble. Lewis? Abstain. Okay, and I'm an aye. Okay, old business, we had none. Next, we had enforcement of drinking on public property update. You know, we keep that on, you know, every month just to get an update. The only thing I'd like to say, progressively, it has gotten worse since the last meeting, but also in the last week, after some consultation with the police chief and I believe Alderman O'Brien, it significantly got better. I think they stepped up patrols downtown. They put some cameras up. You know, don't know what's being done, but, you know, it's actually gotten a lot better. I witnessed a fight. Somebody called me. It was in the middle of Schuyler and Merchant, a fist fight that, you know, the people were over at the depot prior to that. So I think, you know, I think there's a handle on it, and, you know, we need to keep an eye on it, but I'll turn the rest over to Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you, Alderman Marzak. I concur with your assessment there, that it's, in the big picture, still getting worse, but very recently, last week or so, with the addition of the cameras and patrols, that seems to have helped. I do think, you know, having gone through a lot of the portion of the summer here, that we should consider expanding the geography of the prohibition of the single serve to a wider area. That would not solve the problem entirely, but I think it would be helpful. So I think that's something to consider for future meetings of this committee. That's, you know, so obviously that's the entire council's decision, but I think it's something to consider to see if it could be part of our approach to addressing this challenging issue. Thank you.
Anybody else on that subject? Okay. We'll keep that on for updates. Was there any consideration of meeting with the chief? You talked about that last meeting.
We had followed up and had a general follow-up meeting, Alderman Barron and I, with the chief and deputy chief on the issues that we discussed. So there wasn't necessarily follow-up specifically from that, but kind of continuation of the general conversation we've been having here.
Thank you. Okay. So under new business, we have a request for an honorary street name designation for Chastity Wills Armstrong, the 100 through the 700 block of Hobby and 900 blocks of Hobby. The applicants are Sherry Malone Marshall and Michael Prude. I'll turn it over to Malone Marshall.
Okay, we did submit the request for the honorary naming of Hobby after former Mayor Chastity Wells Armstrong. She did a lot of great things for the city while she was serving us, and Hobby Street was one of the main projects that she had a problem with as far as keeping it on. It had been a project that had been designated 20 years ago, and each administration had let it be pulled off. The 800 and 900 block flooded with every rain and had to be closed. So this was a problem ongoing. A lot of the homes had to redo their basements because of the flooding over and over again. So just thinking of all the things that she did to make sure that Hobby Street stayed on is one of the main reasons why we want to honor her with the 100 and the 900 block to make sure that her name is there.
Is that the 100 and the 900 block, or 100
Well, it'll be 100 but we're
all the way,
saying
with the exception of the,
800.
okay, 800, that's what I thought.
It'll be Chastity Wells Armstrong Drive.
Okay.
That was the request.
They have submitted the application to the city, got the required number of signatures. I thought I sent that out to you guys, but I just recently sent it to you when I got here. It's the application. It's got the required signatures on it. It has a essay
Yeah, the essay.
about, why this came to be and the history. If you guys want to take a look at that, I don't know if you guys got your computer, but feel free. Take a minute to take a look at that. If everybody's comfortable after seeing that application, I'd entertain a motion to approve the request.
We're approving this to go to city council?
It'll go to city council for, full city council approval, just like anything else.
Did you make the motion?
Oh, I can. I make the motion.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Shelley.
I just wanted to make sure we were.
Okay. Motion made by Malone Marshall,
motion.
seconded by Carmen Lewis. Any discussion?
I just do want to say that the essay does cover all of the different avenues, projects and stuff that we felt were high achievers for her term that she was the mayor. So it'll be part of the resolution, I hope.
Okay.
And this is the follow-up to Mayor Curtis. He did tell us to find a street
Yeah.
to honor her
Correct.
with, and this is follow-up to that.
Right.
All right, we've got a motion on the floor. Motion made by Malone Marshall, seconded by Carmen Lewis. If there's no other questions or concerns, Malone Marshall?
Aye.
Tolly?
Aye.
O'Brien?
Aye.
Noble?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Lewis? I myself an aye. Motion passed. We'll pass that on to full city council. And next, we have request honoring, let's see, here it is. Request for honorary street name designation for John and Letha Malone. It'd be the 800 block of Hobby from applicant Sherry Malone Marshall. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Malone Marshall after stating she submitted the application, got the number of signatures, submitted the essay, and open it up for, discussion. But go ahead, take it from here.
John and Letha Malone, they were residents in the 800 block of North Hobby. They are my parents, and my father was a pillar in the community. He had a short life. He passed away in '86. My mother continued on with the businesses that he had started for many years following that. But in their younger years, they were entrepreneurs as well as community people. They took care of our community, and they always found a way to serve the community. So whatever they did, it was about providing the needs of our community. And I would just like to honor them. My mother is now 89 years old, and I would just like to honor them with naming the 800 block of North Hobby after them. So I did an essay about all the different things that they have done for the community also. So that will be part of the resolution.
Thank you. That's also included, and everybody's had a chance to take a look at the essay, but like I say, she got the required signatures. Little background there, they owned the Malone laundromat there, right on Hobby for how many years?
30-plus years. as well as they had the convenient food mart on Court Street for about 15 years. Many apartment buildings on the north side.
Once again, I'll entertain a motion to approve or deny. Motion made by Carmen Lewis,
I'll second.
second by Malone Marshall. Opened up for discussion. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Malone Marshall?
Aye.
Tolly?
Aye.
O'Brien?
Aye.
Noble?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Lewis? You're just sitting there. I myself and I. We'll pass that on to full city council.
Thank you.
Let's see, I think that does it. No need for executive session. Alderman question and concerns. The only thing I'd like to bring up, since the mayor's here, when you first came on, Mayor, I knew you tasked a couple alder people for chassis sign, but also Anjanita. I know that was the same night. I don't recall, but I thought there was a task, to have that named as well. Has that ever been, I don't know if that mic's on.
We have not placed the on-air side for Angelina. I can reach out to her.
We don't have an agenda tonight.
Okay.
I don't.
Can't find one in this.
Anybody else?
I have a question. If a constituent has a problem and say they've sent notices to the mayor's office and everything concerning the inability to be able to get off a curb to get into her house and stuff and receive no answer, would this be the place that she would come to make her complaint?
Is there something that you can help her with?
Yeah, I'm not following.
That's what I'm asking, I don't know.
Oh, does she need a curb repaired, or what's the?
Yes, she can't, yeah. But she said she sent the email to the mayor's office, and I'm like, the mayor, basically.
You can check with
I think what
Neil.
the issue is, if it's a curb repair, like DPW may be able to, if it's.
Or Neil
handicap-
Pagash.
If it's a handicap parking spot, then she can come to you, and there's a form you fill out that's online, and it goes to Clerk Gall.
I think she needs to be able to step upon it, so it'd be more like a curb.
Yeah,
So you're looking for like a curb cut versus a handicap?
Yes.
That's different.
I don't know that we can do those, but that's not my thing, so maybe DPW would be a start, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Neil Pagash, you might want to talk to Neil and see what that would, what that pertains to.
As strange as it is, I was flipping through the municipal code book, and there was something about, curb cuts and road, but I don't recall. But
Is it a curb replacement, a sidewalk, or what is this?
I think it's a curb cut, because I was trying to find it on my phone, and she sent me something, and she said she couldn't get into her.
Do you have an address or a location, or?
I do.
Okay.
I can find it.
Okay, we can, usually if there's a infrastructure requirement that's needed, usually residents would take that to the alderpersons of that ward, and then they would, depending on the project, they would either talk with the city engineer, which would be Biggish Engineering, and it could be part of an MFT program allotment, or if it's a immediate fix, sometimes depending on the size of it, if it's just replacing a cracked sidewalk that may be only 4 feet or so, it could be as simple as a DPW fix through ESU. If it's something more major, then it usually has to get engineered, sent out for bid through the MFT program, and then done by a third-party contractor. But it just depends on what the project is. If it's a small section of sidewalk that's maybe 4 feet by 4 feet or something, DPW can make that repair. If it's a minor curb repair, that's maybe no more than 6 or 8 feet, DPW could probably make that repair. If it's a curb cut onto a road for a driveway or something, I don't know. I've never experienced one with that. I would have to defer that to city engineering, because that might fall on a resident.
Okay. Thank you. I have an idea of
Yeah.
what to tell her.
Yeah. But I'm not sure if she's kind of, it's not ringing a bell in my head, but if you can give me a name, phone number, or contact, I'm happy to reach out to her.
Okay, I'll give you all of that.
Okay.
Anybody? Alderman O'Brien.
Regarding the presentation about the wild plantings in the terrace area, is that an agenda item for a future meeting that we need to consider?
I believe, I know legal's been working on, this project, but, I believe we'll put it on next month. Well aware of the situation, but I guess we'll put it on for discussion next meeting. Hopefully by then, everybody can have their ducks in a row.
Yeah.
What is,
There was, it's over in the second ward, but since it's not on the agenda, I don't think we can really discuss it much.
Can you?
You can discuss anything, you just can't take an action.
Okay.
Can
Go
I ask
ahead.
a question? So I went, as they were speaking, I did pull up some pictures that have been posted. Are the cars still on the property? Do we know?
I don't know.
It looked like there was a number of disabled vehicles on the property.
The vehicles, if you're talking about the particular property, the vehicles are not in violation of code.
It's got a cover on it.
So you can have a vehicle on a concrete or asphalt surface. It does not have to be licensed if it's not driving. It does not have to be registered if it's not driving. As long as it doesn't have flat tires, broken windows, anything like that, it's allowed to be on a concrete or asphalt surface. Currently, I think if you're talking about the particular car in question, it has a half canopy on it. There is no code violation against that. That's something the ordinance would need to act on and create a different ordinance. So if you wanted to go with that cars can only be tarped with an official car cover, or have to be 100% covered, or you don't want to allow tarps for such, that's something that would have to be amended in the code. But if a car's tires are fully inflated and doesn't have broken windows or missing parts or whatever, then it can be on a concrete or asphalt surface by our current ordinances on the books.
To that point, since we're talking about cars with covers, there's one over in the third ward that's been there. It's on the public street, not moved for months. There's grass that grows, around it, and nothing can be done with that. But yet,
Is it licensed and registration properly?
here's the thing, it's got a cover on it. You can't pull the cover up. If the cover blows up and
Oh,
you see
you
the-
could, because it's on public right of way.
So I think we do,
Still inflated?
the tires are still inflated, but it's been there for months and, there's grass growing in the street. I think there's a maintenance issue for roads, if it's sat for so long. I think we need to look at that. But let's go back to the grass situation over here. I spent about an hour and a half driving around Lower Riverview the other day looking for other examples to the situation that we have over here. And I can find similar examples, but not 5-6 foot tall grass in the terrace. Now, there's areas of Lower Riverview that do not have driveways, so it does not affect anybody's view. I did get a letter from the resident over there in regard to a safety issue with him and his wife backing out of the driveway. Since then, the resident has cut it down significantly. It's flowering. But, it's something that, obviously needs to be looked at. And, we're not talking about, somebody's yard. We're talking about the public terrace. And obviously, it's a big hornet's nest over there right now with the neighbors. And, like Nathan said, hopefully there's some compromise here where, we can come to it, but, that's where legal comes in. So legal's looking at it. We'll see what she comes up with. I know that she has a PowerPoint, she's putting together, so we can get a good grasp on what the situation, what we actually have to deal with. I don't think it's anybody's intent to keep people from planting stuff that, looks aesthetically nice, but if it is a safety issue, then it's a problem,
We have these plantings at other areas in the city.
Not of this type that I've seen, but I Lower Riverview, I did go by one corner. I want to say it was Poplar and, man, whatever the cross street is. But you could not see through this bush. It was obstructing your view on the corner. I believe Alderman Tolley has pointed out a few situations over in the Third Ward that's similar as far as obstructing view.
Correct.
I think it's got to be, on a case-by-case basis. If a lot of Lower Riverview, they don't have driveways, so you're not obstructing anybody's view,
Except at intersections.
except on an intersection.
Right.
So anyway, I did have a letter sent to me, being the head of the ordinance committee, and it included, concern about safety, as well as, rodents, snakes. The neighbors have not seen snakes like they have. So I guess it's over on East Water Street, right along the river. So if you go, you go over Schuyler Bridge and you make a left, and curve around. Like I say, since it's been an issue, the homeowners, cut it down significantly. And I mean, it was this tall. Now it's about this tall, and it's flowering. So
How tall is it supposed to be? Is it a height limit?
I think we better just leave that for the next ordinance committee discussion, because then we'll have legal, legal can, explain all that, but
Yeah.
I don't really want to get into, details at this point.
Lance, can you share with us the information that was handed out tonight, and the letter that you received?
Sure.
The whole committee has that?
Sure.
Yeah, because we didn't even see whatever you guys were looking at.
Right. Like I said, it was addressed to me, being the head of the ordinance committee, being that, it's a problem, so, like I say, I mean,
The other stuff we saw.
huh?
I think they're talking about the other information that we saw.
Yeah, that was handed out.
Oh, that, the one that he handed out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish he had,
Can you send that out to the...
enough for all of us.
So we can be educated on it?
So, okay.
I'm just saying, we never even got to see that.
Right, I haven't
over
either.
there.
Right,
Yeah, y'all passed it around over there and then they
Right.
come over here.
right.
True.
I haven't even looked at,
I take it over there.
yeah, haven't even looked at what he
Yeah,
passed
that's what
out.
we asking to see it.
Yeah.
So-
It's a lot of information. It's better be sensitive and...
Yes, yeah.
It's Victor holding up the works.
So, anyway,
Brian.
we'll put that on next month's agenda, for discussion, and, hopefully we can come to some sort of resolution that works for everybody.
Now, you go ahead and look at it, and then you just let me see it.
All right.
Or something.
I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
I'll second.
It's in your.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Lewis, Johnson, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Sure you don't want to stay for another hour?
These are.